2, 1.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Welcome to the Pulpery Sportscast with Brock and Ben. This podcast is where we discuss the sports headlines that intrigue us and those little stories that enrage us.
The Saints, their defense is fun.
Oh, yeah.
Our offense is frustrating.
Yeah, but I'd say, other than the offensive line, that is expected, as we pointed out last week, in which Carr only had
3 weeks,
and had one half of a preseason game or one quarter,
one series,
yeah,
one series with the first team, and you could see it a couple of times where Kate guard Mike would cut inside,
yeah,
and Derek Carr was trying to throw it back shoulder. It was just like little things like that.
He missed Olave like 3 times like that. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like he was thinking Olave was doing something different than Olave was actually doing.
Right.
Yeah. And I get that Carolina was just backing off because they knew like 2 people and an infant could get to Derek Carr. They don't need to put a whole bunch of guys on the line.
Well, it also didn't help that the one main running back that we had
got 86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the end of the game, Jones Jr. looked good.
And they started running. It took them like half a game and an injury to a running back before they finally decided to use Taysom Hill like they need to.
Right.
Imagine that. The big burly white guy who can get 5 yards every time he touches the ball.
Right.
Let's not do that.
Or if it all collapses, can just toss it real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Just have somebody looking at him that's eligible to catch the football.
Well, I still was. There was a couple of times we had our fullback out there and going like, why the fuck aren't you using that dude? Like he could get 5 yards just running through the line. But
our offensive line is terrible, and because we have speedsters, unless they give Derek Carr like a few more seconds, he can't get the ball downfield.
Yeah.
When he has time, then Mike Thomas and Chris Olave can go to work.
Well, and I think the part that's frustrating, too, about that is
Pete Carmichael?
Well, but like on paper,
that's what I'm saying.
That offensive line should be far better than what it's looked like.
Ruiz just got paid.
Right, yeah.
And it's basically the same line Penning's in.
Right.
And who dipped? We knew when the guy left, it was going to leave a giant hole.
I can't remember. Ramczyk?
Is that who it was?
Was it Ramczyk who left?
Oh, I was thinking of a guy on the defensive line, too. So, yes. Our defensive line's fine. I've already said that. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the pass protection. And the running backs are picking up the blitzers.
Yeah.
Easy. It's like the end, because Penning can't fucking block anybody. I'm so sick of seeing him picking up Derek Carr off the ground. I really am.
Well, maybe he's getting him some nice gifts.
He needs to. You know what he needs to get him? He needs to get him Kennedy reading him porn on the house floor on audio tape. And he could play that in his helmet.
Oh. Actually, right, I want to make a note of that. But go on.
Okay. So, yeah, our tight ends. Like, Jimmy Graham's not really getting on the field.
No.
Because Foster, is that his name?
Yeah, Morneau, yeah.
I love that guy.
Well,
I just like saying Foster.
I get the reason for bringing Jimmy Graham back.
Oh, yeah, so do I.
But the timing is not good for Jimmy Graham in that we have 2 really good tight ends ahead of him on the depth chart.
You get some backup there.
Sure.
And you can put him out as a wide receiver. He sat out all last year, right? Did we confirm that?
We didn't confirm it, but yeah, I don't.
We believe so.
Yeah.
I was talking with my mom about that this weekend too.
Yeah, because he was like cut by the Seahawks, and then
right, but he wasn't fully healthy.
Yeah.
So he's been out, so I get him not being on the field too much. Like you still got to get him up to game speed.
And physically and mentally,
right?
Apparently too. So
yeah, he had episodes.
Yeah.
First it was like he's on drugs. Then it was like, oh
no,
we're sorry.
CTE's kicking in early.
Yeah. He's a young buck here with some mental issues.
But I was impressed with the closing interviews of Carr going, I was terrible the first half. And I told him, it's me. I have to play better. Which is, that's good because, you don't want somebody going in and, blaming your wide receivers for fucking up or going.
Or he could have went in there and butchered the offensive line. I mean, that's the problem here. That's why I was like, well, was it really? He didn't miss a lot of the fucking interception.
Yeah.
He should not have thrown that football.
No, but he threw it off his back foot.
And
too.
I get that he was pressing at that point.
Yeah.
I got to do something. I got to make something happen.
Don't throw it into quadruple coverage.
Floating it up there. The way he threw it before the camera switched, I was like, oh my God, someone's wide open. He just lackadaisically tossed that ball up there. No. Triple coverage.
It's like a college football quarterback. It's like, I was trying to get rid of it.
No, you weren't. You fucking tossed it lightly.
Right, which is what Bryce Young looked like.
He was
a boy playing amongst men.
He looked good at first, but that's because they were able to run the ball.
Yeah.
And then we locked it down, and then he got happy feet because he was overthrowing receivers or throwing behind them because he was rushing shit.
And,
which,
And I mean, to say, I see the potential.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's going to be a good quarterback.
But I didn't understand a lot of, the pregame stuff where the Carolina head coach is like, well, we've given him the keys to the car. Are you fucking stupid?
That's Frank Wright.
Yeah.
The quarter. I think he won a Super Bowl as a quarterback, didn't he?
Might have with. What was that? One of Schottenheimer's teams or something?
Oh no, he was on the Buffalo teams that lost.
So
a lot.
Allen's teams, whatever it was. I almost called him Mel Allen. It's not Mel Allen. Marv, was it Marv Allen, the head coach of the Bills on the run?
Oh, Marv Levy.
Thank you, Marv Allen. Where am I getting Allen from?
I don't know. Levy.
Fucking high or something.
Yeah, no.
But that point of you all barely have the resemblance of an offensive line as well, and you're going to just let this first year rookie quarterback decide. He's calling changes on the line. No, you need to have somebody guiding him if you're just going to throw him out there to the wolves like that.
And I get he was still listening because I think that the announcer said at one point that they were having issues. But yeah, he's calling plays at the line.
No,
he's Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I wouldn't let.
And the kill all over the place. I was expecting Omaha next.
Right.
Omaha. No.
But he hadn't seen enough pro football to be able to beat.
Yeah, it's about 5 times faster than college.
Yeah. And putting him in that position, you're just setting him up for early failure, which can fuck with his head, and then
Who did they have last year? Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Teddy Ballgame?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could have brought another veteran in and had him sit a year.
Well, that's why they got Dalton, your favorite ginger, on that team.
I love him. I love the Fitz Magic commercials that's out there with Cam. Right? What are those, Little Caesars commercials?
Yeah.
With
Pizza Time.
Kittle, who I hate, but he's okay. Love those. Love the Fitz Magic. Fitzpatrick. Okay.
Even though he destroyed the Saints, always.
Yeah, seriously, motherfucker. So, Saints undefeated in the worst division ever. Who everybody's undefeated. So, and we get Green Bay.
Except for the Panthers.
Except for the Panthers. But they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I can't see Baker Mayfield playing out of his mind the rest of the year. I just don't see it happening. And I don't know anything about
Ritter.
Forehead 2.0. I mean, he looks like he's 50. Seriously. He's got an IMAX theater on his ship. Whatever. Leeds also won. It was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, for us, yeah.
Leeds won, and won pretty dominant.
Convincingly, yeah.
The highlights, because again, fuck you, ESPN. Especially with the 49ers money, you figured they should be somewhere.
Well, and that, like, how hard is it to just sign a basic deal to where you carry the championship, all the championship? You have enough bandwidth on your fucking...
The championship is clearly, every match is being televised.
Right. Yeah, just pick it up from whatever Sky Sports or whatever,
right.
RBN is doing it, yeah.
Yeah, man, give BT Sports a call and just...
Yeah, I don't want to have to pay more money to...
Fuck no. I pay ESPN, Disney, whatever that company's name is now.
Which you shouldn't have to, because you should be able to use mine.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So they look good. And Pirlo, with that Sanzel.
Yeah.
That's his name.
So Pirlo.
So I can't say Pirlo. He had a brace. He scored hella early, too.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what happens when we score early as opposed to press to score later. On
all three goals, Dan James was involved, either assisting or deflecting.
In the build-up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's this weird thing of that. Yeah, like Farco was able to figure out how to. At least how to bring that fluidity back.
Yeah, you got to pivot in the middle of the pitch
on the
now.
press that Bielsa was trying desperately to get, and then nobody else could recreate. But guess what you had to do? You had to go out and sign a striker.
You have to find someone who could put the ball in the back of the net.
Right.
That's kind of the point.
But you got James and Noto on the sides, and you got, as we said, I mean, not to smoke our own polls, but like we said, Ruder needs to be in that rotate, and like they got that true, like Benzema, I'm just going to sit in the box and Pirlo, and then every time it's like, oh, you fucked up, got it.
Just as long as you're covering for each other, because Noto switches from side to side too.
Yeah. So can James.
As long as it's fluid up there, you're fine.
Well, and all of them are good at one-touch strike.
Yeah, triangles.
Yeah, not and like.
Or you mean like not trying to dribble the ball like
Harrison? Yeah, or
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Or
I need to take
Rafinha.
5 touches before I get it in there.
Right.
Well, and Rafinha was best when he would they drop it in on him and then
he's 2-touch and goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
easy. Kind of like Dusan Vlahovic did from the assist from my son in Juventus' game.
Right.
60-yard switch of play. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we're going to get to that one.
60-yard switch of
play. But that's where I'm hopefully right now it's not showing up, or they're still having to climb out of the hole.
But
well, I mean, remember, they started the season, ownership was in flux. Everybody's trying to leave. Yeah. So with all the different signings, and they're now starting to gel together.
There are 7 guys that started this weekend that didn't play last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Ruder played toward the end there, and so did Noto. But for the most part,
they didn't know how to play him.
Sturrock, Ayling, Meslier. That's it. Somerville.
Right.
Yeah. 7 guys.
So
of course it's going to and a new manager. That's going to take time.
Sure. Well, and now you have Sturrock in a different position than he was being played last year.
He's like that Swiss Army knife,
right?
Which is fucking fantastic.
But he's clearly working better as a center back.
Well, and he's controlling the line back there.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Which, I mean, he should be the one learning from Cooper to get the armband next.
Ayling. He should, but Ayling's got it right.
Yeah. Well, no, which makes sense. But
so who would they give it to if Ayling sat? Yeah, it would be Sturrock. It would have to be.
Or Meslier, but that's...
You give it to Sturrock.
Yeah. He just needs to grow his hair back. We want to take this time to thank you for supporting the Pulpery Podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms, so please follow us and turn on the downloads. You can always delete them later. If audio is not your thing, we are on YouTube. Check out our page and hit the subscribe button, like our episodes, and share with all your friends. Follow us on all the socials for our latest content and additional takes on the latest stories and news. If you need a change for your taste buds, go to thegdsauce.com and change the way you think about the way you eat. From their signature goddamn sauce to their ghost pepper sauce, they have everything you need to rethink condiments. Help support an independent business by getting rid of your same old condiments and boss up with the goddamn sauces.
You know what else was Chef's Kiss?
What was a chef's kiss, Brock?
The Juventus match.
Really? Tell me about it. Paint me a word picture.
I will paint you whatever you want. It was the best. The first half of this match was the best that I've seen Juventus play since Pirlo was there.
Now, where Chiesa's hurt, right?
No.
Who's hurt? Other than Pogba?
Just him at this point.
Oh, okay.
So we had Chiesa and Vlahovic up front.
Why did I think Chiesa was hurt?
Well, did
he get hurt after the match?
No.
Okay.
No. A couple of weeks. No.
Maybe
when he was with the Italian team during international break.
Okay.
He felt something, but it was just muscle fatigue, and he's fine. But we have scored. I'll have to look at our total goals, but Vlahovic has 4, and Chiesa, God damn it, and Chiesa has 3. So, but we went with Kostic, Rabiot, Locatelli, Moretti, McKennie. 3-5-2.
Yeah.
So McKennie is responsible for getting back and playing defense and
controlling the midfield, essentially.
Not just bombing up and down the side.
Oh, okay.
Just up and down, which can come in handy with the United States men's national team.
Sure.
Although he likes to play him in the middle for some reason.
It won't matter because Berhalter's going to leave his best players on the bench because they hurt his feelings.
Fuck him. Or he could go beat his wife some more or something. Allegedly.
Yikes.
But, they were pressing more, but not just like half the team press and you leave it. No, they were pressing like a unit.
Were they in a circle defense this time?
Fuck no. There were no circles. It was crazy. It was Chiesa and Vlahovic running around like crazy people. Pressing, turning the ball over, counterattack. McKennie's assist to Vlahovic.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, it was 60 yards on his boot between 2 defenders, and then imagine that. Dusan took 2 touches and scored a goal. He didn't try to dribble through 2 defenders. No, 2 touches.
I thought that's what you do now.
2 touches, give yourself a yard or so of space, and shoot the ball. Wow.
Now, a quick aside on this I'm just curious. Do you think? I mean, I know that's always been a strategy, and it's a fairly proven one. But do you see
what's that?
Now that just like the dropping it in on your good striker.
Oh, the direct approach. Yeah.
Do you see that as a direct result of Haaland and De Bruyne from last year, and everybody really seeing what those two could do?
I think it comes.
As well as De Bruyne's back up this year as well.
I think it's all in who you have up front.
Sure.
Like Mbappe, you could do that because he's strong enough to hold up play, or you could just drop it over the top.
He can do that to himself.
And he's faster than everybody.
Yeah.
Benzema was that way. Zlatan, Giroud. I'm trying to think, Lukaku, as much as I hate to say it. Bamford. Those guys, like that's who you build that. I'm going to go into my hold-up central midfield. Center forward. So, which is why.
But you got to have the passer to do it.
And Chiesa being next to Vlahovic helps. But then, you've got Locatelli spreading the ball all over the pitch because he's dropping back in that Pirlo, the regista role. Yeah. Where he plays just in front of the defense and he's passing the ball all over the place. Like he's the focal point. And then Rabiot doing Rabiot things.
Oh, I didn't realize Rabiot was on your squad.
Yep. Still in the middle of the pitch.
I remember when he was a young man.
Me too. We had that conversation about like how long has he been around? It's a shame that his mother is his manager. It really is, because
I don't.
It's
that's such a French thing to do, though.
It's never a good idea to have a family member.
No, ask Paul Pogba.
I saw in multiple places that Pogba has agreed to terms to come back to Juventus in the window if Juventus is willing to pay the fee. I would murder to have him back on Juventus.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's Italian journalism, so who fucking knows? I could probably make something up, throw it out there, and there'll be like a half a dozen Italians that believe it. What the fuck? Messi's coming to Juventus?
It's a happening.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it is a happening. Chiesa scored a brilliant goal that McKennie was involved in the build-up again. And then, so right now it looks like Weah and McKennie are going to be swapping out at that position, which would be right wing, up and down the right wing.
So and you've come full 360 on Weah?
Yeah, I'm good until he starts doing stuff stupid. But I mean, right now on the pitch, yeah, he's awesome. Trying to see, because we've been playing the kids. Moretti played, he's a baby. Cambioso played, he's a baby. Fagioli, he's a baby. Like, yeah, all these young kids got to play.
So, I mean, have they had that much personnel change since last year? I mean, I know McKennie was away and then came back for this year. But
Quadrado's not here anymore, which I'm okay with that. Bonucci's not here.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Well, he was getting up there in age, so.
Yeah. Who else? Caustic's here. Oh, Paredes isn't on the team anymore, but he didn't get much playing time last year. Those are the only ones of note. Yeah.
I know.
So,
it's like, yeah, I'm just curious because
same team, but they brought up kids to replace pieces here and there.
I was going to say too. Speaking of rumors, did you hear the rumor that Inter Miami's going after Griezmann?
But they already have. See, this is what I need to get into the minutia of how many foreign players you can. Sorry. So we need to find out.
What is it they delegate him as, or it's something like that, like
a designated player or something?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It used to only be 3 or 4. But they've already got PK there and Messi and God damn it, who's the other one?
But wouldn't that mean that they just have to start playing some of those dudes full time? And
that's I don't understand. But Griezmann turned down money to go to Saudi Arabia, right? He didn't go.
I don't. No, he didn't. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. He was one of the ones that
and that's
stayed.
that's what brought in the Inter Miami thing, which was like, well, if there's an American team willing to, and of course they want to go to some place with beaches and sunshine. That's generally what Europeans want. So.
Yeah, but. So what are you trying to say? St. Louis isn't going to be able to recruit anybody out there? In the middle of nowhere?
It's going to be a tough sell. Because if you're playing in stifling heat, you'd rather be able to go...
To the beach?
Yeah, or a club right afterwards, not go to some place where union workers are getting off of work.
I'm trying to think of how many... Now, I guess most of the European soccer stadiums are open air.
Yeah.
None of them are fully enclosed.
Right. Well, and I mean, last thing. Well, actually, we can transition right into St. Louis out of this, but that's what Berkey was interviewed by several outlets. Being like, "How do you like playing?" And he's like, "The summers over here are brutal." Like, yeah. Sorry, no one told you.
And you just happen to be in the dead center of the United States where there's nothing else. You're like an ant under a magnifying glass.
It's a pit where the air falls.
Exactly. Where the microphone.
It's a great city, but man.
You can come down here. It's like tropical weather, just dry now. So
yeah.
I guess it's not tropical anymore. When you have a burn ban in what amounts
a swamp.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's not good.
Waino, congratulations.
I didn't do it, but yeah.
200. No, I was telling
No,
him.
yeah.
So
no, I mean,
he's done.
You get on Twitter, and some people are like, "I don't get the big deal." Like, and like
they clearly haven't looked up the list of.
Well, I mean, he's like, I mean, he's past 100 on, he's like 120 something or something like that on all-time wins. But the big stat would be that he's the third winningest pitcher for the Cardinals franchise.
That's where I was headed.
And so that idea of seeing a guy win 200 games with one team.
Yeah, I was just looking at the most recents, and Verlander and guys like that came up.
Right. Yeah. Scherzer's got over 200.
Greinke, Kershaw, Wainwright, like those are the guys now. And then Johnny Cueto is next on the list. Those are just active guys.
Sure. So, but everybody but Wainwright that you mentioned is now bouncing around from team to team.
Yeah. Verlander just did it. Scherzer just did it. Is Greinke still pitching?
Yeah.
And Kershaw's. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those are guys.
Well, Kershaw.
Is he done?
No. But he's been with one team.
The Dodgers.
Yeah, but
fuck him.
So but that's the big thing is.
How long's he been in the league?
He debuted in 2004.
My math, 4. Oh, so almost 20 years next year.
Yeah. So.
Good God.
And there was that year he had his Achilles tear, so he was out.
And then there was a COVID year.
Right.
Did he pitch that year?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I didn't know if he.
No, he was only ever. I think it was the 2011 season because he wasn't part of that World Series. He wasn't on the roster for that squad.
Really, at all during the year?
No, because he ripped his Achilles tendon.
Did they give him a ring?
Yeah, he was still part of the team, but he wasn't on the playing squad because he was still.
Well, of course, he did Aaron Rodgers before Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, dude had an Achilles tear. He had Tommy John surgery, and he was able to come back from all those.
That Achilles tear. Oh, was it his push-off leg?
Yeah, where he got it running out of the box.
I remember. Sorry, that was kind of an important text from my wife. Not really. Imagine that. Leaving the box as a pitcher.
Yeah. Which is what...
And I've always been a DH guy, but people fuck that as DH. No.
But that started the conversation among St. Louis fans of going, maybe we don't need that anymore.
I get the whole...
It took several... even when they switched it over, people were like, fuck that shit.
Well,
now they're like, no.
I'm an old school guy, so I get it strategically, and then in the World Series and stuff like that, it makes sense. But I don't want my number one pitcher to tear anything leaving the box.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah. No.
So, but it's...
You end up like Shotani.
But it's also one of those of he's a few months younger than me.
That was going to be my next question.
He's 41, and then I'll be 42 at the end of the month, but he'll be. So it's that thing of
old.
I saw not just that, but it's that it's that different thing of not the guy that you saw as a kid, and then when you were in your late teens or early 20s, you saw him retire.
Yeah.
This is a guy that when I got out of college, he was coming up. And then
04 that's 20 years. That's half your life.
So I've seen his whole career with my team, and then it's just you're right. It's kind of that if I were in baseball. The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery is a privately produced podcast by Brock Ryder and Ben Grimmie, on social media and photography by Beck Ryder, original music by the Heisenberg Compensators.